Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Anna Imagination and I am with The Healing Garden. I am talking today on a new group that I am launching called LightWorkers. It is The Healing Garden's Lightworkers. Right now there's a lot of information out on the internet about light working. And this is my own interpretation of it. This is my own view on it. I do not access any religions. I do not access or pull from any I'm not speaking on behalf of any religion that's currently out there. This is my own perspective based on my own claircognizance, based on my own perspective and my own intuition and what I pick up from the universe. I have been ethereal walking for more than 40 years. It happens when you have multiple personality disorder. As a result, I am tapped in. I always have been tapped into the other plane. And since 2019, it's been waking up. The entire vibrational frequency in the entire world is changing right now and it's upshifting. That's why a lot of people are suddenly going, oh my God, what's happening? I'm psychic and I have powers and I can move energy. It's like, I would say a large percentage, enough to start creating this massive boom that's just heading out into the internet world. A lot of psychics, a lot of empaths, a lot of HSPs just woke up. It's been happening since COVID. That's really what started it off. And if you follow any of the religions, well, I'm just going to say it because this is where things get kind of, I'm just going to say it. It's the end of days as it's been laying out. And we saw it with Trump's election. We saw it with COVID. And now we're seeing it with Ukraine. It's here. But it's not happening the way that we expected or anticipated it to happen. When it was about a year ago, I had this massive it was a vision. I'm just going to say it. This is where my crazy's all going to come out. And that term crazy, by the way, is a label from narcissists who are incapable or not tuned into the energy field. So they're completely shut down, dumb, and deaf to this massive energy surge. So they like to use the word crazy for people who can feel it because everything's a spectrum. And either you can feel it or you can't, or you fall somewhere in between on this wavelength. I am way over here where I spend more time on the ethereal plane. I spend more time, that's where I'm home, basically. And there's quite a few people out there who are just like me, and that's where they are home. And we grew up being horribly abused by people who couldn't feel it or detect it. And as a result, a lot of there's been a lot of conflict and a lot of abuse happening, which is one of the things that the Healing Garden does. So this is where I do this massive unveiling and I say, so the reason why I really created the Healing Garden was because a year ago, it was during the 2022 Mercury retrograde. I had a personality split on me, and imagination, my goddess imagination, was born. That's when she was split, literally in the middle of the last day of the retrograde. And she came out basically seeing a lot of visions. The visions finally have started to slow down, but the first 8 months was just every day I had 3 or 4 visions. I recorded most of them. So I've been alone trying to figure all this out for the last year. But the very first thing I thought of or had the vision of when I split that day was, oh my God, I need to create a healing garden because people are going to need to know this shit. Basically, I realized that the program I invented for shadow walking, the Warshak perspective, is basically going to be the thing that everyone needs to learn so that when they shadow days come, when we do our great shadow walk that's coming, we're going to need to basically crank it out there and teach people how to do it. Because of the Warshak print perspective, I am basically I'm queen of the darkness. I can toggle between trauma and the light without a problem. Um, I was raped on May 10th, and a week later, I was functional, laughing, and well on my way to being fine because of the Warshak print perspective. That's what's coming. And I had this massive vision of I need to get this out there. So I created the Healing Garden, and it's all I've been focused on for a year. It's why I went into the way of the Buddha for a year. It's why I haven't been employed, is because I have this huge calling and I'm going, oh my God, we need to start putting this together. And at the head of it is that Warshak print perspective, which is why I offer shadow walking courses for free over in my tier 1 in my Facebook group. So the purpose of this particular group, the Lightwalkers, is basically to get everybody on the same page. This is my frequency. This is my interpretation. It's not right. It's not wrong. It is different, as is every religion out there. And that is my primary lesson. This is a safe place for anybody who is tapped into the energy. It doesn't matter what your religious background is. If you know it's coming, we are going to need your religion just as much as we're going to need all of them, because I am of the belief that it's going to require every one of our religions to pool together, to work together, because every one of us is bringing one piece of this puzzle together. And we need to start tying them together. Every religion is right. Every interpretation is right. And I can prove it. That's some of the stuff I'm going to go through here. I have a link on my website, www.annashealinggarden.org, where I talk on Anna's philosophies. The link is in the description of this group. You can go ahead and browse through there, and I pull it apart. As far as Christianity, because I call Christianity out in the Anna's philosophies, there are two types of Christianity, and you really need to get this through your head, because I cannot afford, and neither can anyone else, any kind of defensive anger or ego. There's no place for it here. If you have an ego, get out. If you are defensive, get out. Do the shadow work, come back. I'll walk you through that if you want. This is not the place for narcissists. Now, what happens if a narcissist gets their hands on a religion? They use it to manipulate and abuse others. That is what's happened with Christianity. It's happened a little bit with the other religions, but Christianity is renowned for it. And it's not anybody's one's fault. It's not Christ's fault. It's not the God, and it's not the embodiment of the religion. It is, well, to be perfectly blunt, it was the Roman Empire. When they wanted to completely rise up and remarket and rebrand themselves, they needed a cover up. So they grabbed Christianity to do it. So there's two kinds of Christianity. There's the Roman Christians. That's old Rome, the Council of Nicaea, the ones who deliberately put narcissism inside the religion and taught the religious group to become abusive, aggressive narcissists to ram it down people's throats. That is not what I'm talking about. That is a garbage religion. That's a cult put together by man, for man, to control man, by a bunch of Roman narcissists. That's not what I'm talking about. If you believe in the Christian religion and you have found the core of what it's really about, and you see the difference between the Christian abusers and the actual Christian religion, by all means, come in. You're welcome in this place. Check your ego at the door, like everybody else, like me, and get humble. Because this is not a place to argue which religion is right. This is a space to compare religions, to compare notes, because I have a piece. And every one of you has a piece. And it's time we start putting our pieces together. But in order to see the big picture, we have to start putting aside the egos, looking at all of our different pieces and comparing the information. And there's going to be a lot of opinions, a lot of different interpretations. And that's fantastic. We celebrate differences here. We are going to celebrate all of the different opinions we can come up with, because we're going to need each and every one of them. So if you're coming in here with a mindset of my religion is the right religion, there's the door. Get out. But if you're coming in here open-minded and humble, your ego is checked at the door, and you're here to learn, to figure out how your religion and your belief and your spirituality fits into all of the others, oh, please, you are wanted. You are welcome. That is what we're going to do here. So on Fridays, we meet. I haven't decided the time yet, probably 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is a good chance that on Fridays, this is all I'm going to do, is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do a Zoom call, and I'm going to say, hey, if you want to be participant of this conversation, come on in, because I have a lot to say. I have a lot to talk about. I have my information, and I need to start bringing in all of this information from all of you guys and start comparing it. So the Ashvik Vedic, I don't know how to pronounce it, Ashvik, and Ashvik. Those religions, those are where the Lightworkers originally sourced from. I know nothing about them. I just found out about them a few weeks ago, actually. But like I said, I'm an ethereal walker. So a lot of this is coming to me through cognizance and or through claircognizance and through my intuition, and I'm a seer. I'm an oracle, and I have been having visions for the last year, and so I have all of this information and data in my head. In addition, I've been ethereal walking since I was 5 years old. as have been a lot of you. So it's a matter of let's pool our sources together. Let's figure it out because I don't have the language for what's out there, but you guys do. I just have my pieces from my perspective from the shadow work that I've done. And now I'm looking at everyone going, okay, it's time to start throwing things down and making a plan. Because when everything starts to go down, we are going to require light workers to step in and basically become the healing group to pull this back together. But it's not one religion. It's not one of us. It's all of us. It's the collective. It's the collective. And we need all the healers. We need all the healers from every walk of life, from every corner of the energy field, from every corner of that energy pool. Because what you see and what I see is just your perspective and my perspective of the same thing. So we're both right. Because I see the energy pool with my perspective and you're seeing the energy pool with your perspective. And your interpretation might be Hinduism or Judaism or Muslim or Buddhism or Christianity. But mine is mine. I don't have a religion. I just see it and I have my own interpretation. And there's a group over there who call themselves witches and warlocks and pagans, and they see it too. And they're calling it something because they see it from their perspective. And we've got people over there called scientists who are literally poking at it and exploring it and measuring it. And they see it. They are physically measuring it. And they're all poking at the same energy pool, but we're all standing at different points of the pool. So we're all looking at the same thing, but with different perspectives. So we are all right. Now we need to start bringing our puzzle piece to the table, handing it to each other and saying, okay, what do you have on yours? What does it look like on yours? Because I can see what's coming. I can see what's going to need to be done. And I can see all the players and all the pieces. But I lack the language. And that's where you all come in. So I have A, you have B. Let's start bringing this together. Again, you can be part of whatever other light group you want. This is the Healing Gardens Light Workers. We are 100% compatible with every other light worker group out there. So we're like I said, we're just looking to accumulate pieces. And on Fridays, we meet 10, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will be recorded. So if you do have a problem with being recorded, please don't come in because I will be recording it, and then we are going to be posting it out. Oh, this is why I'm not supposed to get a day job, because once this takes off, my day job will fire me. I love visions. So I gotta focus back. So yeah, so bring your piece in and we'll go ahead and get you started. Our first meeting is not going to be this week. Maybe it will be. Maybe it will be. Stay tuned, but definitely next week, which is the 23rd. Oh, it's no. Let's build up the group first, and then I want to talk for about a week. So Friday the 23rd is when we're going to do the first light working course. And that's it, where I'm going to start going down everything and breaking it down and showing you how it is and just getting everybody on the same page. So it's going to be the 23rd of June at, let's say, 10 or 11 a.m. I will have that more definitive later. All right. And that's going to be our first scheduled shadow work. So by all means, please, this is an absolute safe space for you to post any information about this. Just please, again, keep the ego at the door. Do not criticize. Do not correct. This is like a United Nations. Think about it. This is United Nations of the light workers. Okay. So keep that in mind. Respect everybody's differences. Respect everybody's perspective, because everybody is bringing something to this pool. So we can start putting the pieces together to start to see the big picture of what it is we're all really looking at. Yeah, this is my destiny. This is my goal. This is my whole energy field is going because it's I'm just so happy. Okay. So thank you so much for listening. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Most of my videos on this group are going to be down to 15 minutes. I don't want them ever to go more than 15 minutes. So my name again is Anna Imagination. I am with the Healing Garden. And as always, join my Facebook group. That's going to be my huge call to action. Join my Facebook group, because that is my hub for where everything happens. my Facebook group. It's Anna's Healing Garden. You can, or yeah, Anna's Healing Garden with two N's. You can Google that. I'll have the link over here. But if you have not done so, get your butt over to my Facebook group. That way you can stay in the hub. You can stay connected. You get everything. Because this is like funnel in. Yeah, I do marketing 101. This is like my funnel, and I'm not hiding it or being secretive about it either. I have a funnel over in YouTube. I have several scattered across the internet, and I'm pulling people in from all over. So I don't know which way you guys came in, and I would love to know where you guys are all coming in from. So when you do get in the group, please post a, hey, I'm here. Let me know. This is basically going to be the requirements. I want to know where you found me. I want to know which of my platforms you found me, because I want to know what part of my funnels are working, because I want to know where I need to put advertising, and I want to know how to basically raise awareness to get more people brought in. The second thing I want is, where are you located? I would love to know what you're located. And third is, tell us your religion. Oh yes, please tell me your religion. I'd love to hear about it. Tell me your religion. Tell me about your spirituality. If you belong to a certain group or a sect, or I just want to hear about it. If you are an introvert, DM me. I'm very quiet, especially I have my internet face, and this is where I allow myself to just warm up, because but you get me in the DMs, and I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. So I do have a very quiet, muted version of myself for the quieter, gentle people, the tender ones. So if you identify as being gentle, quiet, and tender, and you need a little bit more softness, over my DMs. I have a special place in my heart I used to be that way. So, and it took a lot of shadow work for me to go from that to this. So I have a very, very warm, special place in my heart for, for the shy wallflowers. So thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.